Are you in the market to buy or sell commercial real estate? Continue watching as we discuss how commercial real estate transactions can be complex and challenging, particularly in a state like California with its unique legal landscape. It is crucial for parties involved in these transactions to be aware of the many aspects that can impact the process, from the letter of intent to the contingencies in the final agreement. We will explore the important aspects of a commercial real estate transaction that all parties should consider in order to ensure a smooth and successful process. Number 1, letter of intent. An LOI is a non-binding document that outlines the basic terms of a proposed real estate transaction. While generally not binding, the LOI serves as a foundation for the negotiation of the final purchase and sale agreement, and the letter of intent helps establish the parties' expectations. A well-drafted LOI should address all the material terms such as the purchase price, earnest money deposit, the length and scope of the due diligence period, conditions precedent to closing, and closing date. Second, the due diligence process. The due diligence process is essential for the buyer to uncover potential risks and issues with the property. Here are some examples of what this process typically includes. First, a comprehensive title search is necessary to identify any liens, encumbrances, or other defects in the title that could impact the buyer's rights to the property. This includes obtaining a copy of the vesting deed to verify the seller's ownership. Next, a property inspection and survey helps the buyer to understand the physical characteristics of the property, such as the boundaries, encroachments, or easements, which may impact the property's value and use. Buyers should also confirm the property's compliance with California land use and zoning laws to ensure their intended use of the property is permitted. This review will help identify any required variances or conditional use permits. Finally, reviewing existing loan documents can help buyers explore options for assuming existing financing or obtaining new financing terms. Number 3, the purchase and sale agreement. After due diligence, the next important step is drafting and negotiating the purchase and sale agreement. The purchase and sale agreement is the legally binding contract that sets forth the terms of the transaction. Some provisions to pay close attention to in commercial real estate purchase agreements are: Number 1, an accurate legal description of the property to be transferred. The legal description from the title company should be identical to the legal description in the vesting deed that conveyed title to the seller. Second, representations and warranties. Both parties should provide appropriate representations and warranties about the property and their respective abilities to perform their obligations under the purchase and sale agreement. Buyers should be aware that some agreements contain as-is clauses. These clauses limit the seller's liability for the property's condition and require buyers to accept the property as it is. Finally, contingencies play a vital role in commercial real estate agreements, as they provide both buyers and sellers with a level of protection and flexibility during the negotiation process. Essentially, contingencies are conditions that must be met for a transaction to proceed. They can cover a wide range of aspects, including financing, due diligence, zoning, environmental assessments, and the sale of the buyer's existing property. These stipulations allow the parties to withdraw from the agreement without penalty if the specified conditions are not satisfied within a predetermined time frame. Fourth, transfer of ancillary items. The last important part of a commercial real estate transaction is the transfer of ancillary items. Besides the transfer of the real property itself, a commercial real estate transaction frequently involves the transfer of various ancillary items such as personal property, inventory, and equipment. Many agreements will address the transfer of personal property, inventory, and equipment associated with the business being operated on the premises, including any warranties associated with these items. Next, when acquiring a property with existing tenants and ongoing contractual obligations, the transfer of leases, service, and management agreements is an integral component of a commercial real estate transaction. The buyer usually assumes responsibility for existing leases, as well as service and management agreements, which may encompass contracts with property management firms, maintenance providers, and other essential service providers. The purchase agreement should clearly detail the process of transferring these obligations, including any required notifications, amendments, or consents from involved parties. Finally, the transfer of permits, licenses, and approvals is a critical aspect of a commercial real estate transaction, as these authorizations are often necessary for the continued operation of the property or business. The buyer must ensure that any required permits, licenses, and approvals are properly transferred from the seller as part of the transaction. This process may involve local, state, or federal agencies depending on the nature of the permits and the property in question. The purchase agreement should clearly outline the responsibility of both parties in securing and transferring these authorizations, including any necessary documentation and fees. If you have any questions or need assistance with your commercial real estate transaction, don't hesitate to contact us. Thanks for watching and best of luck with your real estate endeavors.